Hi everyone, this is Ella, and today we're going to talk about some interesting facts about the discussion of artificial intelligence in recent years. Whether it's AlphaGo a few years ago, which simply means the first computer program to defeat a professional human Go player, or the recent hot self driving cars, Internet of Things, or deep machine learning models, all of these algorithms are based on data. So the topic for today is all about big data. The word big data is already shattered. Many people thought that big data means that the amount of data is very large. For example, if it reaches terabyte, on the other hand, petabyte is even higher. That can be called big data, but this is not the case. Big data is not literally the size of data, as it is the range of the data. In 2001, an analyst of a meta group first proposed the three elements of big data, developed that is 3V. Then, of course, now 3 micro has developed into 4V, 5V, and 6V. But I still think that these three is the core of big data. What do we mean by 3V? First, V means volume, which is the amount of data that everyone said. The second V is the meaning of velocity rate, which means that the speed of generating data is getting faster and faster. The third V is variety. With that being said, the range and width of the data, for example, many years ago, most of the data we processed may be structural data, and most of the data generated by humans in daily life are unstructured. What does the data mean? To give you an example, a person's identity information, your ID number, your date of birth, your home address, all this structural information. And now we can identify a person's identity information. There are many things to capture and analyze, such as your voice, your appearance, every photo you sent on social media, every video, every message you leave below the video you watch. These are comments, and every item you put on a shopping cart. These are all unstructured data. And this is unstructured data that shaped a vivid image. So big data 3V features can be summarized as faster and wider data. There are a lot of changes that are based on data to each and every one of us. Look into your Google account and click on the recommended videos on your YouTube homepage, which will basically show interest. The recommendations of these videos are based on every movie you have watched in the past and every like you have given. I stayed on each film for a few minutes and seconds where I paused, watched a few percent, how long it took, how long I wrote, whether it was positive or negative. It records every movement of you, leaving your unintentional movements. And then you will be surprised to find out that you've watched some science fiction videos on YouTube, and then one day it recommends you to the movie description of the Black Mirror department. From then on, you're just out of control. This is the truest idea in your heart. The National Academy of Sciences of the United States once published an article saying that as long as you have like 10 people or 10 posts on Facebook company may judge your character and psychology more than your colleagues. It is more precise. If you had created 70 likes, and it may know you better than your girlfriends or friends. If you created 150 likes, your parents and siblings and other people will have to fall in love. But if there are 300 likes, maybe your spouse doesn't have this software, so you can better understand your thoughts. So if you want to make the algorithm more understandable than myself, how many likes do I need? How long will this process take? Back to your YouTube homepage platform, have recommended so many videos to you. And in general, the videos you want to watch will be included in the top 20. Then, if one day you want to watch the video, it will be included at the top 5 within a day. If one day is included on the first 3, and if one day the platform only recommends one video to you, this video is what you want to watch. Your social media may know you better than you do. And this day will not be far away. Expanding to the entire social life, Grab Uber records where do you go from day to day, and LinkedIn records all your network plays. Tinder, Hoop dating softwares records all your dating preferences. Paymaya, PayPal, all records and purchasing abilities are recorded by your mobile phone. For the communications company, at what time of the day do you make calls and to whom? Which text message are sent? How long are the call records? And you can even know whether you are open on the subway of TikTok. It will track all your trips every day. Even if your phone is turned off, it is still tracking you. You can expect that in the near future, you want to go for a bank loan. You don't have to hold all your payslips, and that was recorded. The bank can investigate your travel data, vacation data, and even your colleagues' property data. It can easily know whether you are going to the 168 Mall in Chinatown or residence in Shangri-La, or even when you walk into the bank, it can match you to all the informations through the face recognition system and quickly generate a report to tell you how much you can take away. And all of these has not been realized at present. Not because this is a technical problem that cannot be overcome, but because the data of all walks of life has not been integrated. If one day all companies and all industries have decided to join forces, from all the people are stricken, and the time will come in an instant. The question is this a good thing? There's an old saying in China, without farsightedness, there must be near worries. It means that we do not have long-term plans, and they will inevitably be at a loss in the near future. But on the other hand, people have no recent considerations and plans, and they will have worries in the long run. Facebook has several large and small data breaches in recent years, but more than 50 million user data breaches caused by Cambridge Analysis last year has caused great controversy. They started because a professor of psychology of the University of Cambridge, called Kogan, wrote a third-party applet that attracted 270,000 users to click and download to a $5 reward. After the third-party applet, you will be asked to participate in some questionnaires, and then the app will ask you if you agree to view your Facebook information. If you agree, all your friends' information on Facebook will be taken away by the app. Originally, in Professor Colgan's small program, he had to study social media and mental health. Facebook also agreed for the purpose of research. We collected user information and there's actually no problem until now. But after completing the research mission, Professor Kogan sold the data to Cambridge through his own company, GSR. Analyzing this use is not an academic use, which violates Facebook user safety regulations, and it also violates the views of the security agreement between these small programs and the user. This part is illegal.
People gave their information to, in this case Alexander Kogan, then goes and in violation of his agreement with us sells the data to Cambridge Analytica. That's a big issue.
By then, this matter must be known to everyone. The reason why this matter has attracted such a high attention is that it also involves the 2016 US presidential election and the British vote, because Cambridge Analytics has built a data model on the information of 50 million huge users. It analyzes the psychological characteristic of each user and the close-up of the expected candidates, and then push the corresponding information for the different users to achieve control for the purpose of the election result. Of course, it is true that the reporter said the media in the Cambridge analysis of the company's use of its data model has really affected the result of the 2016 presidential election and the outcome of the Brexit referendum. But the truth is now unknown because there is no recreation in the data model. What does it mean? For example, there is a person who loves to eat ice cream, and this person is a fat person, but you cannot really say that this person became fat because of eating an ice cream. Because this person, at the same time, he may also like to eat many other high calorie foods like hamburger, french fries, or cola. So there's no direct cause and effect relationship. In addition, this matter is also more interesting. Facebook has not been attacked by any hackers in the state of breach. That is to say that these 270,000 users for $5 but all its information on both hands. How can you say that these 270,000 information has become the leakage for all the 50 million personal user information? There is another problem of data attribution in the middle. For example, there's a person named Bob. In order to earn this $5, he downloaded a small software and then did a questionnaire survey, and he contributed all the information to his hundreds of friends on Facebook. There may be Michael or Alex among these hundreds of people. Should they compete for their consent? In fact, in today's social media, your privacy is no longer determined by you alone, but in another community. In fact, in today's social media, your privacy is no longer determined by you alone, but by a network community. On June 19, 2018, a darknet user sold 1 billion pieces of China Yongtong Express data at the price of 1 Bitcoin, including the recipient's name, phone number, address, and etc. And the data repetition rate was below 20%. The price of the inspection service that supports 1 million pieces of data is 0.00.1 Bitcoin, which means that the user information of 1 million Yongtong Express is only worth more than 400 yuan, while the billion pieces of data can be bought for more than 40,000 yuan, and it's now all gone. On August 28, 2018, the check-in data of many hotel chains under China Huazhu, or the China Hotel Company, were also sold on the dark web, including the registration information, name, mobile number, email address, ID number, login password, birthday, hotel check-in records, consumption amount, and etc. 500 million pieces of data are packed and sold in 8 Bitcoin, which is 370,000 yuan, according to the exchange rate of the day. Maybe you will think that these are the disregard of the rights and interests of the general public by some criminals. As long as the relevant laws and regulations are strengthened, or you can say that I don't need a mobile phone, or I don't play high tech, I don't have internet access, that's wonderful. I just wanted to live in a mountain forest without electricity, but is that really reliable? Chinese Privacy at China Development High Level Forum on March 26, 2018, by Du CEO Li Yanhong said that the Chinese are more open to privacy and less sensitive. If they can use privacy in exchange for convenience, safety, or efficiency, in many cases they are willing. As soon as the remark come out and stirred up a thousand of waves, and many people condemned it is a blind sight of the Chinese technology, giant's interest in the general public. But in fact, Baidu CEO actually said in embarrassing reality, but he confuses objective reality with subjective will. In China, people don't care about their privacy, but they have no choice. If you want to download the software, it will ask for your mobile phone number. If you don't fill in your mobile number, you won't be able to use it. To agree to the registration agreement is tantamount agreeing to these companies to push you various advertisements. The company promises that your personal information transaction record, as well as various use and purchases records, will not be shared by third parties. But if the information is accidentally leaked by an employee, the personal behavior of an employee has nothing to do with the company. To give a very simple example, in an area with a high crime rate, violence against women occurs every day. But you can conclude that women in this area lacks awareness of their own protection and even enjoy the process of being violated. This is a great disregard of the victim's subjective consciousness. I believe many people have noticed that China's surveillance cameras are increasing at an alarming rate every year, and supermarkets, Schools, subway stations, roads, shops, everyone with all his hands raised, he will suddenly photographed by the camera. Since 2010, camera speed is increasing at a rate of 20% per year.
As of 2018, China already has 170 million cameras.
The concept is that every 7 to 8 people will have a camera. At present, China has become the world's largest surveillance market. In the future, three-fourths of these servers use the video face recognition, maybe bought by China, and these cameras can certainly prevent crime from bringing some psychological security to the people. But this pair of eyes is also controversial internationally. The chairman of Tencent once said in an interview that more than 1 billion photos are uploaded to Tencent every day, and there are more photos on holidays which can reach to 2 to 3 billion. And most of these photos are Chinese faces. Moreover, Tencent has data only appearance of also almost all the Chinese in the past 10 years, when they can even model and analyze this data to predict what each Chinese look like when he is old. In 2017, in the BBC reporter learned that the China's Skynet system is very powerful and they wanted to challenge it. He came to Guiyang to challenge the China's Skynet system. He first had to give his photo to the police and asked the police to flag his photo as a suspect. He tried to test how long it will take the Skynet to recognize and find him. As a result, the entire process took less than 7 minutes. The Skynet system in Guiyang City can use 60,000 channels of various video lenses to detect face recognition. And these cameras can not only recognize the facial system, but also recognize the license plate number, map the face to the license plate number, map the face to the ID number, and even track what carrier you have visited in the past period of time. Locally, when the arrangement of these sensors and cameras reaches a certain density, you can know who you are with, so as to realize the matching of interpersonal networks. At present, the Chinese Skynet system is still being further improved. The official statement is that in the end, their goal is to achieve a purpose that cannot only combat crime, but also predict crime. As long as the video captured by this camera contains a face that matches the face of their suspects, the system will alert the police. This is why after the outbreak in Wuhan began earlier this year, no region outside of China was able to obtain accurate information on the extent of the outbreak's impact. In addition to this Skynet system, China also has a Great Wall on the internet. Although the Great Wall is invisible and untouchable, it has effectively hindered the transmission of information. The Great Wall on the internet is actually more indestructible than the real Great Wall. Although it is said that such a Skynet is restored, Skynet system is still scattered and not leaking. To a certain extent, the safety of the people can be guaranteed, but unconsciously, George Orwell's 1984 quietly arrived in China, and these authorities are staring at everyone with each of his eyes. Since ancient times, many different cultures and ethnic groups have believed in a systems of God. You will sacrifice a god, and who are stronger than humans have wisdom in every year. Follow God's will, drive a good, and avoid evil, and pray frequently. But slowly, with this progress of time, human beings slowly realize that our main property rights should be at our hands. And the status quo of everything, we eat what we want, do the work we want to do, and spend the rest of our lives with people we like and like-minded people, because we think we're the one who knows us the best. But is this really the case?
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
This seems
Nobody
like a scene
listened.
in a movie
Nobody
where
listened.
the robots are going to fucking take over and you're freaking me out. Nobody listened.
Nobody listened.
No one.